Alex Pault, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Talking Timepieces, where we talk about watch collecting and horology. Today, we're going to have an episode on a watch that I've been really looking forward to getting my hands on, and that's the Baltic Bicompax 002 in blue. And my friend Nathan managed to get his hands on one for his, actually his first really nice piece, and partly because of my recommendation, in fact, and I'm really pleased that he took my advice. And so let's take a close-up look at this watch. Don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel. Let's turn the camera around and take a look. So here's the Baltic Bicompax 002 for a $600 watch. It doesn't have a bad presentation at all. Let's open up the box and show you what you get. Like I said, I've already done this and have worn the watch and all, but I thought you would appreciate seeing how it's presented. Some information here. Let's take a look at that. So it feels like cork. And it's probably just a thin veneer of cork, but it is cork. It's not just painted to look like cork. It has a very nice cork-like feel to it. So even if it's not real cork, it looks and feels like cork. Oh, what do we have here? We have a test. Short and to the point. Tells you where the test was done. And it lets you know the rate, amplitude, and beat error. So not bad. And this is one of the things I wanted to point out, and I've pointed out earlier about these watches, these micro brands like Baltic, who use Chinese movements. They use Chinese movements, but they really make sure that the movements are functioning properly and are doing what you need to do. Yeah, the warranty card, we'll leave that in the sleeve. The little QR code pops up there, but I don't think we need to show everybody the code for this watch. And a manual. Talks about the watch. And in this case, it looks to be a watch-specific manual. A lot of companies have one manual fits all. Even some very high-end companies have one manual for all their watches. So having a brand-specific manual is a nice touch. So let's open it up. Now, it comes with this removable plastic on the front, so I put it back on just to show you what you get. But essentially, that's the protection that you get on the watch. There is a plastic cover on the back, but I don't have to remove it for the review, so I'll allow Nathan to decide to do with that aspect of the watch what he wishes. Now, it's a leather strap. It feels simple, not cheap. It's a nice looking strap. It has a nice luster to it. The stitching is nice and clean, and it highlights the sporty casualness of the watch. I do like the texture in the dial. It has an interesting texture to it. The subdials, the totalizers, have a spiral finish to them, and the interior area of the sector dial has granularity to it, and the rest is smooth, evoking to a small degree the JLC Polaris's face, or some of the other watches with multi-textured faces. But it is a nice looking piece for that. We're talking about a $600 watch here, so it really does look good. This is a great office watch. Work really nice with polo shirt or a business casual in the office, and it's a nice looking watch without being over the top and a little bit in people's faces too much. And here we have the party in the back. This is a seagull movement, pretty obviously. And like I said, I'm leaving the plastic on, but that's okay. It's not a sapphire crystal back there. They say it's a Hesselite crystal up front. They tout it to allow, because it allows them to. Nothing. Because it allows them to give it a nice curvature and a nice vintage look. And it does have a nice curvature, and it does give it a nice vintage look. It's just a good looking piece in that sense. Now, it does have a quick release. It does have a quick release strap system, which is, you're seeing more and more on watches that you can just pop the straps right off. The Marie Lacroix plastic watch I had with the rubber straps I gave to my daughter, that had quick change straps. I expect to see variations. Now, Baltic offers variations in the strap for at the point of purchase. You can order it at the website when you order the watch for more straps. I just simply grabbed a couple of spring pins. It's a 20 millimeter space, which is really, really good because you could throw a lot of different straps on it. I'm going with a neutral strap here because I don't want to go, I wanted more to show how easy it is to change the straps, because I'm just doing this in real time. I'm not even going to, do any time compression or anything. See, we're on. And I just picked a neutral gray NATO. And you see, whoops, a watch depends from the buckle. Buckle goes up on top. And there you go. It changes the watch character completely. It suits itself nicely to a NATO. Let's do a little measuring. Its build is a 38, so let's see. Pretty much straightforward 38. And the thickness is 13. I'm going to give it 13 because there is the plastic on the back, and that could be throwing off the measurement a hair. But all in all, it's a nice piece. Wristwatch check. I'm wearing my Breitling Navitimer GMT, which is also a really nice watch. In my next episode, I'm going to switch all of my watches over to NATOs for the summer, and this lends itself nicely to a NATO as well. So here we go. We toss this on the wrist. I'll even throw the strap through and give it a little tuck. See, so bang. Now it's got a much sportier presentation. Looks good as a sportier watch as well. Now, just to show you how easy it is to change the strap on this watch, it has through-hole lugs. So you could even take, in this case, I deliberately am not using a watch tool. This is a SIM card tool for a cell phone. You probably got a million of them someplace. You put the pin in, you feel for the head of the spring bar, and bang, it comes right out. See, stick the pin in, bang, there goes the spring bar. And now in this case, since it already came out, you see? I'm fishing for it and it's long gone. And let's toss it back on this, and we'll toss it on the wrist again so you can see what it looks like with the leather strap. But like I said, this is a nice piece, and at 38, it's right at the lower edge of comfort as far as sizing for me. I have 18 and a half centimeter wrists, And anything smaller than this tends to look a little twee on my wrist, but this does have a good wrist presence because of the pushers of the chrono and the dome of the of the Hesselite, as they call it. And then you see, put it on the wrist, and there you have a more discreet office watch. See, with a good wrist presence, even on my big wrist. And let's flip it over and zoom in on that movement so you can have a healthy look at that. So as you see, it is a seagull, but it's a movement with a great heritage. The seagull movement, the original seagull hand-wound column wheel chronograph, it is a column wheel chrono. Originates from the old Venus company. They sold their design for their hand-wound chronograph, or one of their hand-wound chronograph designs, to China, so that they could afford to develop a automatic chronograph movement like all the other big boys. And Venus wound up getting absorbed in during the Quartz Wars, but the movement lives on. Well, it lives on in other watches as well, but especially in the Chinese Seagull line of movements. So it really is a nice piece and a really good example of a micro brand. I've talked Baltic up often, and I'm really glad that my friend Nathan was able to let me borrow this piece so that I could show you all what a really nice, basic, I would say luxury even, because, like I said, we're talking about a watch that costs more than the average American family has sitting aside for emergencies. You know, $600 is nothing to sneeze at. And yes, there are more expensive watches on the planet, but there are a lot cheaper ones too. And this is a good watch. It'll stand up against other pieces that cost 10 times its value. It's not the most expensive materials. It's not the most expensive finishing, but it's a nice piece that will do you in good stead. So let's flip the camera around and close out the episode. So that was the Baltic Bicompax 002 Seagull movement. Very nicely done, and really refreshing take on a vintage-inspired micro-brand piece. And like I said, Baltic takes the time to make sure that the Chinese movements they use are good enough to guarantee and that you be happy with them. So, and this was not a paid performance. My friend bought this watch with his own money. So, thanks for watching. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe.